And we're live! Hi, I'm Sophia Botha, host of the Botha Report. Botha Rants. Fuck's sake, Sophia. Yes, okay, let me start again. Hi, welcome to the latest edition of Botha Rants. My name is Sophia Botha. How you all doing? I see Kevin Logan is in the chat, being immature as he often is. Yes, very funny, Kevin. Ha ha. Can you do that spelling out Celtic? Anyways, I gotta thank Kevin. He joined me on Saturday for a live stream, and that video is the first video to get over 100 views since I interviewed Aria Demeslo last year. And I think it's because of Kevin being on my channel that I have now managed to get over the milestone of 100 subscribers. Thank you to everyone who subscribed. I can't, for some reason, some subscribers are incognito, so I can't see everybody. But it does mean a lot to me. Thank you. You know, when I get to 1,000, that is the milestone. Obviously, we'll do some special video, and I might even do a giveaway. You never know. You know, so I'm sure somebody out there would like to have a pair of my soiled panties. Anyways, yes. Tomorrow there won't be a show. Only because I've got to do a pre-recorded interview with somebody I have been wanting to interview for a while. In fact, we had scheduled an interview last summer, but they had to pull out for various reasons. Somebody who's trans and is as geeky as I am about things like Doctor Who. So it should be a good chat with them. Also, talking about there not being a show on tomorrow, I'm actually going to pull back to 3 nights a week with the live stream, but there will be actually more videos from me. Essentially on Tuesdays and Thursdays what I've tried to do is do more sort of in-depth topics, as opposed to Monday, Wednesday and Friday going through the news. However, it's not working out for me because I want to be able to clip out stuff and which is more in depth about particular subjects, so that people can get like a bite-sized sort of video, on stuff like transgenderism and anti-Semitism, or transgenderism and ableism, or talking about people like Rose of Dawn and Blair White. So Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays there will be Botha Rants live at 6 GMT, 1 PM EST, and I'm sure Kevin, if he's still in the chat, will tell you what time it is in Fiji. Anyways, so that's the plan. Right, so on with the show. Yes, the normal housekeeping. Yes, please do follow me on Twitter. I'm hoping to get to 4,000 followers by the end of February. That's starting to look like possibly not happening, but you never know. You never know. A bit of a word of advice from people actually. This is a person I'm not going to follow, even though they followed me, because, well, basically they've got a link to something there, but it says Premium Media. I have to check that link. It's some group or something, or Telegram. I mean, I don't fucking know. And I'm not going to follow somebody, who seems to be possibly trying to sell me something. I mean, I'm going to follow, though, somebody who's got something in their bio, such as, socialist, nurse, telling me something about themselves. Those are the kind of people I will follow, Having said that, there was someone who followed me for a while ago, who was Jewish, and he was a socialist. Turned out, well, that's what it said in their bio. And they seemed a nice enough person, but then they started getting very angry with people on the left. And basically, we thought they were actually a troll who had, sort of made out that they were on the left when in fact they weren't. So, be wary. I do check on this sort of stuff. So, because I can do without the harassment of fucking trolls, I can tell you. So, essentially, as long as you've got something written in your profile which, is going to sort of entice me to follow you, then I will follow you. Definitely won't follow TERFs and definitely won't follow Nazis. Oh, I forgot to put in my Patreon page in the running order. Well, if you want to support me on Patreon, the link is down below in the crotch box. I think I heard of, was it Flossie Carr usually refers to it as that. I also got a PayPal link if anyone wants to give me a one-off donation. I still don't know if it works because someone still hasn't sent me any donation. It's not important. I'll still do this show, whatever. But it would be nice. Anyways, on with the show. So, some country music star, his album sales have surged since he made some sort of racist statement. So yeah, fans of Morgan Wallen are buying up the country star's latest... Oh, okay, let me just stop there. There's a joke. Country and Western is music for Nazis that don't like Wagner. So why am I surprised he's being racist? I know somebody, what about Johnny Cash? Of course, there are those people who go, no, Johnny Cash went country as rockabilly. No, fuck off. Johnny Cash was country, and he was, Johnny Cash was a decent guy. And made, his version of Hurt is actually is actually better than Nine Inch Nails' version. Anyways, fans of Morgan Wallen are buying up the country star's latest album after a video showed him shouting a racial slur last week. Yeah, I'm not going to play the video. I don't, I know that there are other people who are anti-racist, but they will play racist slurs on their channel to basically make a point. I just don't want to. Okay. Wallen, I can't pronounce that word. Record Dangerous, the double album, retains the top spot for a fourth week on Billboard's all genre charts. Yeah, but the thing is, album sales these days, they're nothing compared to what they were 20, 30 years ago. Musicians have got to actually play live to make a living, which is how musicians should be making their living, as far as I'm concerned. Because I have no problem with peer-to-peer. Basically, it's the manufactured pop bands who have suffered the most. Ha 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 ha. Bands I like Numero Army and the Levers, they've never relied on record sales. They've always gone out there and played live. That's how they make their living. Here's the fucked up thing about this, right? I remember the days when people, when douchebags were racist, we used to boycott products, they produced, whether they be country, corporation or individual. Now people go out and buy products, but when people are being racist, that is really fucked up. Yeah, racism is about denying and abusing. It's about abusing and denying the rights of other people, right? And if you want to help do that, then you're a fucking fascist, as far as I'm concerned. Anyways, talking about racists, just watch this video. This is a Mexican Hispanic guy who owns from what I hear, is a top Mexican restaurant, and he's addressing a public meeting, and see the reaction he gets.
I went to his bedroom to say goodnight, and he was crying because of the abuse that he was enduring in this school system.
Then why did you stay in Mexico?
Yeah, that guy, he most definitely is a Trump supporter, isn't he? Yeah, just fucking hell. Talking of Trump, so there's someone's dragged this up from a few years ago. This is Trump talking about impeaching Obama.
We are defending your right to keep the doctor and to keep your plan. Remember, President Obama, you can keep your plan. You can keep 28 times. You can keep your doctor. That didn't turn out very good. We should impeach him for that. Why are we impeaching him 28 times? You can keep your doctor. We should impeach.
Right. So essentially, this is Trump basically saying they should impeach Obama for providing healthcare to those who otherwise wouldn't have it. No, but well, we know Trump's a fascist. This is the kind of thing fascists are into, isn't it? you know, they always pose as the poor man's friend when in fact they just want to fuck the poor. So, yeah, he's complaining about how it was unconstitutional to attempt to impeach him. Fucking hypocrite. He was trying to impeach Obama for doing good. Yeah? Trump deserved to be impeached. Of course, we know what's happened now, right? The reason I didn't sort of go through all the Senate footage from last week with senators waffling on end about whether they should impeach Trump or not impeach Trump is because I knew it was a foregone fucking conclusion. I knew he wouldn't be impeached. Yeah, because I knew there were enough fucking Republican senators who are A-OK with fascism. And Trump is a fascist. So, that tells you a lot about where the GOP is now. Trumpists have taken over the fucking Republican Party. And the GOP, I would now say, is a fascist entity. The guy, here's the thing, right? Clinton lied about getting a blowjob in the White House, but what married... Sorry, it was specifically the Oval Office, wasn't it? What married guy wouldn't lie about getting a blowjob? He was for lying about getting he was impeached for lying, which is... This is the fucking GOP, man. The fucking pathetic. Yet, someone who basically instigated a full fucking riot, and he did. Oh no, that's not an impeachable offence. As I say, Trump is a fascist, and one incident of this is reflected here. The fact that LGBTQ civil rights groups and other civil rights groups are enraged by the Trump acquittal. Well, yeah, they fucking well should be, because I went through with a streamer on Twitch called Elenani Clark about we went through Trump's record on rolling back legal protections for LGBTQ people, and I saw parallels to the Nazi Germany, where they had rolled back legal rights for Jewish people. It was horridly similar. You know, the idea being that they, first of all, they sort of, by legal means, exclude, you know, in Nazi Germany, they excluded Jewish people from society, and Trump was trying to do that with LGBTQ people. That is full out Nazi. You know, what Trump was doing was, you know, out of the Nazi playbook. No, you know, of course, we know Trump's a racist. We know he's a nationalist, and you know, America is still now at threat from falling into fascism because, as Biden has said, democracy is fragile. Now, here's the thing: if Trump 2024 becomes a thing, right? If he does run in 2024, right? You know, obviously the Republican base are going to, you know, pick him as the GOP's presidential candidate. If he wins, right? Of course, if he runs, that, you know, there could still be things which stop him from running, like being bankrupt. You know, and also there are various state bodies after him for various things, tax evasion and various other things. But let's say, you know, Trump does run, he will be the Republican presidential pick, and if he wins, it's bye to democracy in the United States, because as soon as he gets into office, he's going to try and destroy democracy. Yeah, because considering how it, you know, we know Trump does not like losing, right? So he will probably do just about everything in his power, and if there's a Republican-controlled Congress, you know, to aid him, you know, democracy in America will be obliterated, you know, and Trump might very well end up as, you know, as a despot. Seriously, and I'm you know, I am warning, and this is a clear warning. You know, I had some people say, "Oh, you're being fucking alarmist. That didn't happen the last time around." Yeah, it didn't happen this time round. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Okay, and you know how much, you know, fucking unrest that there has been, you know, since Trump lost. You know, you know, do we? You know, okay. Let's just say that if like Trump does get picked in 2024, and he loses, how much more civil unrest do you think there will be? Yeah. I don't know if there's another means for Congress to prevent him from running for office. I don't think so, and I think this will be quietly swept under the carpet. I mean, obviously there are things that the Biden White House want to do, positive things, and of course, you know, that's going to take up time in Congress. So, you know, people, I guess, are going to just hope, you know, something happens with Trump, like, you know, he gets done for tax evasion or whatever. And he's prevented from running for office. It's just scary that he could run for office again now. There is that potential. So, this was Boris Johnson's response, of course, the pound shop Trump. He's said that the US democracy remains strong despite the kerfuffle over former President Trump's impeachment trial. Here's the thing. Boris now sort of has one arm tied behind his back because of Trump not being in office. Mainly because Biden has made it very clear that the US foreign policy is going to be pro-LGBTQ. So basically America's probably going to tell some of its allies, hey, get with it. And, the Tories' record, I will admit, the Tories' record on LGBTQ equality was okay under David Cameron and Theresa May. I mean, particularly if you're a middle-class LGBTQ person. Maybe not so much, if you're working class, because, as far as I'm concerned, social justice must always come with economic justice. But I will grant you that, Cameron and Theresa May were both socially liberal. Now, supposedly, Boris is meant to be socially liberal as well. I mean, he's supposedly meant to be a libertarian. But ever since he came into office, LGBT, the Tories have just, basically reverted back to being, we don't really give a shit about LGBTQ rights, and if we do give a shit, we don't, we want to basically give the finger to LGBTQ rights and say no, none of that. So there could be that. But what I'm on about Boris, there's something that Boris is trying to do which needs to be highlighted, which Trump and the Republicans have been trying to do, and this is to do with in the United States, the Trump and the Republicans have tried to redraw district boundaries to gerrymander elections. Well, the Tories are now trying to do this, and that, they've had plans on the books to do this for a long time, right? But obviously when they didn't really have a majority, they couldn't get it through Parliament. But now they've got an 80-seat majority, which is the biggest majority they've had since the 1980s. Yeah, they can do that, right? Also, they want to introduce photo ID for voters. Now, obviously, this hits poor people who tend to vote Labour because they don't tend to have photo ID. They don't tend to have passports or driving licence, right? And so, this is very similar to the whole thing in America with the Republicans trying to purge the voter rolls in certain districts and basically bring in their version of voter ID as well. So, in some ways, Boris is very, very similar to Trump. Okay? And here's the thing, right? Because the Tories always say, well, voter ID, it's to, combat voter fraud. Voter fraud in this country is very low, as it is in the United States. In fact, here's the thing. There's a good proportion of the population who just can't be asked to vote. Really, those people who do go out and vote every election are people like me who are political anoraks. Well, anyways, we'll have to see how this, how the Biden's influence affects Boris. Let's hope it pulls him back to more of the middle of the road. However, we've got a story later on that, it's basically the Tories adopting a policy which the BNP would have been proud of. Anyways. Yes. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Well, we couldn't have a stream without mentioning her, could we? She's raking in the donations. Jeez, there's a fucking surprise. I mean, never mind about YouTubers grifting. I mean, Trump. I remember, was it Alex Jones put out that thing on Parler where he said Trump had lost half his fortune, being the US president. No, he's been using, particularly his election defeat, he's been using it as a means of making money. I think he's received over $200 million in donations. I mean, they were putting out these emails saying give donations for Trump's defense fund to fight the election result. But if anyone looked at the small print at the bottom of these emails, it basically said the money that wasn't necessarily going to go to that defence fund. Yeah, this is all just a money-making scheme for a lot of these far-right douchebags. It really is. So, why aren't I fucking surprised? See how much she's... yeah, I mean, she's... You know, it's just the same as it always is. You know, I'm just not surprised. God is from the Onion. Deranged conspiracy theorists convinced large cabal of Americans want her to disappear. There probably is a large proportion of the population in the United States who probably do want her to fuck off. Yeah. But she's just going to keep on saying really asinine, stupid, racist, homophobic, transphobic shit to, you know, to grift, basically. Yeah. Now, okay, this is another story from The Onion, but I'm going to say, for those who in the UK might not know what The Onion is, it's a bit like Private Eye. You know, satiric. It's a satirical publication. Some of their stuff is very, very funny. The thing is, though, sometimes satirists come closer to the truth about stuff than actual, you know, the likes of the BBC or Fox News, or, well, you're never going to get the fucking truth from Fox News, are you? So, bad comparison there. The BBC, you know, BBC News, or, I don't know, MSNBC, or Reuters, or, yeah. So, anyways, let's have a read of this. Dismissing the accusations as nothing more than baseless attempts of a deep state conspiracy to attack former President Trump's supporters. Insurrectionist truther Thomas Kelber declared Monday that he doesn't believe he was present at the Capitol riot. Look, anybody could have taken selfies of me storming into the Capitol and post on my Facebook page. Yeah, make it look like I was there. It's fake news. I mean, the thing is, you say that, but fucking hell, man. There is a story. Don't tell me I've forgotten to put it in the running order. There is a story. I'll see if I can get it up a minute. Hold up there, folks. I'll go search it out. And it gives me an excuse to have a look at the chat. Yes, that's right, Lace. Kevin spelt out penis. Isn't he clever? But do go and subscribe to his channel because he does put out good content. Anyways, I'll just go and search out. There was an article I did want to include, and for some reason it doesn't look like I have. Or did I? Hold on. No, I didn't. Sorry. Hold on 1 second, everybody. Sorry. Bit of a brain fart going on here. I shall normal service will return in just a tick. Right, got it. Right. Okay. So we're talking about this satirical piece in The Onion about, one of the Capitol riots who said it was fake news that he was there, despite the fact that he, was streaming it live. But right, yeah. Now, So this person works for InfoWars. I mean, kind of obvious, and is saying that the Capitol riots were faked. Fuck. Yeah. I mean, that's a, satirical post. This is what I'm saying. So satirists sometimes get it more bang on than the news networks. And, well, yeah. So here's what she has to say.
It is time that we up level. It's time that we level up our show of force. And for those wussies that are sitting at home right now, that are watching their Fox News.
Here's a thing which InfoWars and particularly Alex Jones does. They always speak sort of. It's always this aggressive thing with them that they're always talking about insurrection and force and whatever else. They're not specific for various legal reasons, but there are people who do act upon the shit they say. I mean, how many spree killers have been found out to be, Alex Jones listeners? Yeah.
And CNN and watching their social media, and you pretend like you're a conservative, you pretend like you're Republican, and you're pretending like you're fighting the commies. And for you to sit there and buy into this MSM narrative, hook, line, and sinker, that we are national terrorists, domestic terrorists, that we are violent, that...
Well, you are? Fuck me. You really are in fucking denial, aren't you?
We were so inappropriate and so embarrassing to you guys, and you are disgusted by our display. You were never a real patriot. You should be ashamed of yourself. How dare you?
Right, so patriots go around overthrowing elected governments now. That's not exactly very patriotic. I think that's treasonous, isn't it? Sorry, I should have said attempted to overthrow, elected governments. I mean, I'm actually surprised she's calling them patriots because, essentially, because they failed, some on the far right have obviously been smearing them as Antifa. If they'd succeeded, they would have been called patriots, but she is calling them patriots. I'm just saying there are other sections of the far right who don't seem to be able to call them patriots because essentially they failed.
Bro, these patriots that have been there all day yesterday and fighting the real commies, we're the ones at war fighting for you guys. How dare you say that you're ashamed of us? What kind of a patriot are you? You're no patriot if you're so quick to throw your fellow patriots under the bus for actually going to war and doing the dirty work that you won't do because you're...
This is real sort of insurrectionist talk, isn't it? Real treasonous, sedition, isn't it? I don't have... there's a guy I do know who sometimes comes into chat who does know about the actual legal ramifications for shit people say. Obviously, there's the First Amendment, but it does have its limitations. Anyways, well.
Sitting at home, comfortable on your couch, reading the MSM and buying into their narrative, and you're disgusted by us. We're disgusted by you. What we saw yesterday was the most epic form...
People should always be, never happy with fascists. Let's just say that. So you should always be disgusted with fascists. I had a bit of a brain fart there. I couldn't remember the word disgusted, even though she just fucking said it.
Form of resistance that we have seen in some time. This was the spirit of 1776 emanating from...
Fucking hell, they all think they're fucking George Washington and fucking Thomas Jefferson, don't they? God. Always makes me laugh, that one. Yeah. Yeah, you always hear about Jones, the answer to 1984 is 1776. Oh, right, a bunch of white plantation owners who don't like paying tax and who own slaves. Yeah? That's, having a rebellion. Right, okay.
All of us, every fiber of our beings. It was this true spirit of resistance, not these people that go to these ridiculous rallies over and over every weekend, honking their horns, waving their American flags. I mean, that's great. But you pretend that you're fighting the commies, that you pretend you're 1776, but you are not.
Oh, she's a real patriot. She's the real deal anti-commie fighter, freedom fighter. Why do I get the feeling that, really what she wants to do is say that the Turner Diaries was actually, telling the truth, that she really believes in Zog. I mean, she's not actually saying it outright, but you just know. This is all, this is along the lines of all that bullshit.
1776, if you're not willing to put yourself at risk and do what we did yesterday. You're just all talk and no walk. This had to be done. This had to be done. We had to level up our level of resistance and fighting back.
No, you had to grow the fuck up and accept the election result. I mean, here's the thing, right? I as a lefty, I'll admit, most elections in this country, come election night, I've had to sit through, and it's been not always a pleasant experience, particularly 2019, right? But do I sulk? Do I, go out and protest? No. Try and, get everyone, all my lefty mates and, charge into Parliament? No, I don't. Okay? Right? No. I accept the election result because generally in this country we have free and fair elections. Yes, there are a few issues now and again. I don't deny that. But here's the thing, right? Basically, the Capitol riots were, the guy we wanted to win didn't win, and we're going to, have a tantrum. That's basically what it is.
We'll never, ever, ever fight back and never get what we want, and we will be deserving.
No,
of this
grow the fuck up and realize you're never going to get what you want, right? That's the sign of being a fucking adult.
Government, this tyrannical government.
Sorry, the government's tyrannical? Well, if the government's tyrannical, why are you free to say what you're saying? Which is borderline sedition. Yeah? You've got the First Amendment, in part to protect you, my darling. Yeah? Your constitution, you are exercising your constitutional right now. So how's the government being fucking tyrannical?
So let me say this. It is time, because we have tried every means. We've been nice, we've been polite, we've followed the rules. We've exhausted our legal means and our civil means. We've done all of that and nothing has worked. So it is...
Nothing has worked because Trump lost the election. Okay? Get over it.
Time to show us a show of force. Yesterday was
have another tantrum because you can't get your own fucking way.
Symbolic, and I hope that this is the start where we level up our show of force, where we level up our show.
Oh, so she wants more civil unrest. She wants more violence. She wants more riots.
Of fight and bravery and real courage. Yesterday was symbolic, and I hope that people start seeing it as heroic and jumping in on the action, and that it's contagious, because we need more of it, not less. We need more of what happened yesterday, not less, and do not let the media brainwash you into thinking yesterday was some bad or evil or shameful thing. When I look at the images of what happened in the videos, because I was on the ground and I saw what happened and what we went through, I am proud. I've never felt more pride in my heart and soul than yesterday, and by seeing these images. And you should be proud too.
This is obviously from a few weeks ago. But since then, she's now saying that the Capitol riot is a hoax. And she's not the first far-right person to put this around. So, Trump supporters aren't coping well. Have a watch of this.
We forgot about them. We don't care. Hello?
He can't. Fuck me. Does she actually think? And I mean, the thing is, I wouldn't put it past her how dumbass some Trump supporters are. He can't hear you. It's a fucking Jesus. Yeah. The thing is, I actually think she probably does think that, you know, he can somehow hear her. I mean, seriously, you know, fucking Trump supporters are fucking stupid. Oh, whoops.
But I will always be honest with you.
What will you now?
About both the progress we're making.
But will you do
and
your
what
job?
setbacks we meet and
Will you?
And here's the deal.
You gonna do everything you said you're gonna do, right?
The faster we
Will
do
you remember it?
the sooner
Hello?
we can save lives and put this pandemic behind us and get back to our lives and our loved ones.
How?
And the sooner we can rescue.
How are you gonna do that? You helping all of us now? Or is he?
Most profitable engine in the world.
And if that wasn't enough, there's this. This is another bunch of Trump supporters getting all wound up about. Hold on. This is another bunch of Trump supporters getting all wound up about Joe Biden. Oh, by the way, in this video, Joe Biden, nifty suit he's wearing.
Oh, screw you! Bum! You fucking bum! Fuck you! He needs a talker for him. Fuck you! Fuck you!
Socialist fuck.
Socialist. Oh, we're back to that. It's because the Democrats are commies. They're socialists. It's not barely. I mean, in this country, he wouldn't even get the fucking Labour pie. You know, he's on the left of the fucking. He's in the left of the fucking Tories. Fucking socialists. And the thing is, right, these redneck dumpties, right. What they don't fucking realise, right, is actually socialism would, you know, help them. Yeah, fucking say have a better quality of life. Oh, fucking hell. I mean, I'm always bemused how it is that the GOP, along with, you know, sections of the US media, have basically brainwashed whole sections of society to vote against their own self-interest. It's fucking astounding. I mean, this is the kind of thing, you know, Edward Bernays would be fucking proud of, you know, of marketing men to be able to do this. I mean, fuck's sake. It's... I mean, yeah. As I said, we're back to... I mean, last week I saw that communism was trending on Twitter, and it turned out that the reason it was trending was because Biden had, I think, issued an executive order to expand the coverage of the Affordable Care Act. Yeah, helping people. Yeah. And, of course, we're back to, you know, Democrats being communists. Being, you know. And, well, does this surprise me from Fox News? No, because now Fox News is going to get even more, you know, down and dirty, scraping the bottom of the barrel, because they now have to compete with Newsmax, who make Fox News look moderate. Yeah, Fox News' viewership is down since basically they called the election for Biden. The far right have turned against Fox News. They're going to Newsmax, and there's that other one, which is name I can't remember. But yeah, so Fox News, you know, expect more of this bullshit from Fox News. I mean, I know Kevin Logan on his channel, and please do go and subscribe to his channel. I think I've already said that once, and you know, the Kevin and Christy happy hour will be beginning shortly. I'll be nipping in and watching a bit of it after this. But he was covering last week that Tucker Carlson, who of course is one of the talking heads on Fox News, well, host, isn't he, has gone full Alex Jones. Yeah. Fox News are sort of basically, they want, they want sort of respect, but at the same time, their audience are, Trumpists who, are on the far right. And, well, you can't have any respect in reflecting the shit they think. Right. Ah, yes, Ben Shapiro. I have a question, right? Is there an anti-Semitic bigot who Ben Shapiro won't jump into bed with? I mean, here's the thing, right? Me and Ozma, sadly Ozma, I did ask her to come and, if she wanted to come and co-host tonight, but she's got other stuff on and isn't able to. But me and Ozma speak up more for the Jewish diaspora than Ben does. So we do, right? And we're not observant Jews. We're both atheists. We're sort of, culturally Jewish. Yeah, very much so. And, we are proud of our Jewish identity. But, Ben, here's a guy who says he's, basically makes out that he's the king of the Jews and he gets to arbitrate who's Jewish and who isn't. But he doesn't give a shit about any Jew. He doesn't. He doesn't really. If he had any semblance of basically advocating for the Jewish community, the Jewish diaspora, he'd be calling out Gina Carano for being an anti-Semitic piece of shit. And this isn't, as I said, in what I said, is there an anti-Semitic bigot he won't jump into bed with? This is not the first time he's done something like this. After the one of the presidential debates where Trump said to the Proud Boys, stand back and stand by, right? Ben Shapiro rushed to their defense. And I unearthed, there's a video me and Ozma did on her channel. I unearthed that Gavin McGuinness, the founder of the Proud Boys, was a rampant anti-Semite who was basically tweeting when he was, I think he's been banned from Twitter, but before he was banned, there was like one tweet where he linked to an article entitled 10 Things I Hate About Motherfucking Jews. Well, you can't call that anything other than fucking out and out fucking anti-Semitism. And here's Ben, defending the organisation which is known to be anti-Semitic, in its in the way it goes about things, defending them. I've said before, Ben is a capo. He is. He's a capo fucking cunt. So anyways, I also said on Friday that I'm sure Gina Carano, she would get work because there will always be some, far right, wealthy person to put up money for her to be in some sort of film production. When it turns out that her and Ben Shapiro are going to be making films. Yeah, I can't say I'm surprised, knowing Ben's history, and obviously she needs work. So, she was rightly sacked from Disney Plus. Obviously, Disney did it because, well, it affected their bottom line, or it would have done. And, well, as I said, there's plenty of far right people with money who'll want to make films with her starring in it, right? Because there is an audience for her, for her now. I've seen, I didn't include anything in the running order because, well, why would I bother highlighting you know, so much of the shite which the far right have, have tried to say in defence of her. I mean, was it the Quartering did a 5-hour stream, you know, defending her? Yeah. And as for people saying this is, that she was cancelled, no, she wasn't cancelled. She was fired, and it's not like she anyone has shut up about her all fucking weekend. Now, let's have a look at what the chat has to say. Sane lady. Who's that a reference to? Wasn't sure who that's a reference to. I hope it's not a reference to Gina Carano, because she's not fucking sane. Not at fucking all. I mean, she's also been transphobic, by the way, Gina Carano. So, another reason I don't like her. And as for people say, oh, this is Hollywood's attitude towards conservatives, can I just remind them, Arnold Schwarzenegger gets work. He's a conservative. Chris Pratt has said some hideous. Is it Chris Pratt, the guy who's in the Jurassic World? The reboot of the Jurassic Park franchise. He's really anti-LGBTQ, isn't he? He's like a devout Christian or something or other. So, yeah. I hope I got the right actor there. I'm just remembering this off the top of my head. Yeah. It's, there should be no tolerance towards anti-Semitism, and she's anti-Semitic. And, well, Ben Shapiro, who's supposedly, the great defender of the Jewish people, he's jumping into bed with her. Right, on to something a lot more serious. This is actually from the government's own statistics, the body which collects statistics, basically saying that 68% of disabled people have been affected by coronavirus, COVID-19. I personally prefer calling it COVID-19. Don't know why, I just do. Over 8. Well, actually, it's higher. Sorry. Sorry, actually, I got that wrong. Sorry. I do get shit wrong, don't I, sometimes? Over 83% of disabled people, compared to 7 in 10 non-disabled people, said they were very worried. Oh, sorry, I got that wrong. I'm getting it. Chill, Soph. I heard from some other source that it was 68% of disabled people have been affected by coronavirus. Being in a local lockdown area did not seem to have affected the level of worry. Let me get to the bit where it's I think it does say here somewhere. Essentially, disabled people are getting fucked. All right, that's basically it by coronavirus. Now, sorry, COVID-19. I say I prefer calling it COVID-19 than coronavirus, and then I'll say coronavirus. Essentially, and I will say this, right? The disabled people are getting fucked by COVID-19 in numerous ways. First of all, there's stories about, for instance, those who need carers. At the beginning of the pandemic, you heard stories about carers not turning up to clients because they were worried about COVID-19. Now, I don't blame the carers for that. And I've got a couple of other stories. But basically, here's the deal, right? Disabled people have already been fucked over by the Tories with welfare reform for the last decade, which has caused the death of over 100,000 disabled and sick people. Okay? Those are people with long-term illnesses. They're getting fucked with COVID by COVID-19 because it's affecting those with disabilities far more. And if anyone disputes this, I suggest that people check out this report. And disabled people are going to get fucked afterwards because obviously, the British government are essentially, they're they're spending a lot of money. I think it's over now 100% of GDP, and they're going to have to pay that down in some way. Now, obviously, the better way to do it would be tax the rich. I mean, the Tories have talked about an online sales tax, because a lot of people think Amazon are taking the piss, and Amazon are taking the piss. But, we're talking about the Tories here, and, well, essentially, they're going to fuck over disabled people. Again, believe me, that's the Tories. They, the way out of trouble for the Tories is austerity, and their austerity is always going to hurt the poorest and the most vulnerable in society. People that don't give a shit about. I mean, people talking about how disastrous it is that over 100,000 people in this country have died of COVID-19, which is, disastrous. And many tens of thousands of people needn't have died if it wasn't for the fact that the Tories couldn't organise a piss up in a fucking brewery. The thing is that they've already killed, as I said, over 100,000 disabled people. So why the fuck do they care? Yeah, essentially. They've already killed tens of thousands of disabled people over the last 10 years, so fuck it, what's another 100,000, huh? Hitler would have been proud of the statistics, which, of the fatalities which of disabled people, fucking, the Tories have caused. Let's just remember that there have been 2 UN reports criticising the treatment of disabled people in this country. And, well, people just shrugged their shoulders. I actually remember at the beginning of all this, back in like 2011, 2010, there was a Tory, they were talking about my stalker here, Terry the Tory Troll. And I will be doing a video on him in the near future. Essentially, he sort of, I was raising the alarm about, how welfare reform was affecting disabled people. And he sort of said, well, it's collateral damage. So what? That's how, basically he said, you're all right, which I was, but, I don't take the I'm all right, Jack, fuck you attitude that some Tories seem to take. Yeah, that's, I kind of think that the way to measure a society's humanity is by the way they treat the most poor and vulnerable people in society. And I have to say the Tories are very poor on that score. And I think worse is to fucking come. Because believe me, if you thought that the last 10 years of austerity were bad, this time round it's going to be fucking eye-watering in comparison. It's going to be really fucking painful. Okay? Particularly as, of course, we have Brexit complicating the fucking issue. I'm really worried. And disabled people need to be worried. I do actually remember, I talk about, the left not storming Parliament, but I think when it comes to certain issues, when you're trying to protect life, I'm prepared to say, well, yeah, I can understand why people might do it. Now, I remember, I think it was back in 2015, on the day the government announced that Queen Lizzie was going to get a bigger dole check the next year, the supposed civil list for the royal family. the Well family, the biggest welfare sponges in the country, and the Tories supposedly don't like welfare sponges. I mean, and of course, people, the royal family do a hard job. Yeah, because bouncing around in gold carriages and waving at the at crowds is really a hard fucking job, isn't it? Anyways, the day the government announced a raise in the amount of money Queen Lizzie and the Windsors were getting. The disabled people against cuts organised a protest by which they managed to actually gain access to the lobby at Parliament. I just thought that was ironic, and of course they were condemned. This is outrageous. So I did think I do know that John McDonnell, the former, of course, Shadow Chancellor now under Jeremy Corbyn at the time, I think he went out and spoke to them. To listen to why they were doing this. But generally you heard from the media, this thing shouldn't happen. This is against against democracy and whatever else. I can understand where they're coming from, but as I said, these are people trying to speak up for protection of human life, because that is the truth, right? The Tories have been killing disabled people. Rather than and I know, and there's a lot of Tories like that, like they dismiss us. Just dismiss it. Yeah. This is, they have no understanding. They have no they have no ability to see it from our point of view, right? So, and I have to say, any disabled person who's at least mildly or severely disabled who votes Tory really someone needs to stage an intervention with them, because they're basically encouraging the fucking Tories to kill us all. So, I just, well, let me talk about one story in particular which I remembered from last year. Oh, no, sorry, before that. Yeah, now this is something that, you would have expected from the Third Reich, and let's remember that when Hitler started, when Hitler and the Nazis started gassing people, the first group they started gassing were disabled people, the T4 program. So this is from The Guardian. People with learning disabilities have been given do not resuscitate orders during the second wave of the pandemic. Now, do you know there are Tories I know and sort of people of an older generation go, yeah, but what quality of life do they really have? It's better to put them out of their misery. You have no fucking idea what quality of life they have. And let me tell you, people with learning disabilities is a very broad fucking bracket. I can tell you that, because people such as myself who have Asperger's, right, are considered to have learning disabilities. Yeah. Yeah. In spite of a widespread condemnation of the practice last year and an urgent investigation by Care Watchdog, Mencamp said it had received reports in January from people with learning disabilities that they had been told they would not be resuscitated if they were taken ill with COVID-19. That's fucking frightening. That really is. The Care Quality Commission said in December that that inappropriate do not attempt cardio, whatever, basically resuscitation, had caused potential avoidable deaths last year. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, essentially, this is a way of, killing off disabled people. Yet fucking again, the Tories are at it. I mean, when are people... Sorry, it really is upsetting. And it is scary for people such as myself, right? It really is. You know, people are going to go, oh, you're triggered. Yes, I fucking well am. Because if I got COVID-19, and because I have various other, I've talked about having Asperger's, I have cerebral palsy, which means I have a weaker chest. I'm diabetic. You know, basically, you know, I'm scared that could happen to me. Right. Yeah, as I said, this is a story I remember from last year, but basically, a blind woman had toilet paper literally nicked out of her shopping. You remember when there was a whole load of panic shopping for toilet paper? Because, yeah, one of the symptoms of COVID-19 is that you shit your guts out. Not. Yeah? It's not fucking cholera, you know? Yeah, this is just people taking the piss. When there's a crisis, oh, fuck it. I've got a thing about myself. Throw disabled people under the bus. We lose our humanity, don't we? As soon as there's, I've got a thing about myself. Fuck everyone else. This is the consequence of 40 fucking years of neoliberal fucking capitalism. It really is. It's the, whatever the market wants and first come, first serve. It is first come, first serve. That picture fucking tells you everything. That's during the fucking panic buying which went last year. And of course, disabled people, middle class people can jump in their fucking station wagons, zoom down to fucking Waitrose, and basically, strip the shelves bare. Leaving disabled people who can't get to the supermarkets easily, who can't get a slot, for delivery, because every fucking, middle class person who can't be bothered to get in their station wagon and drive down to the fucking supermarket is grabbing them, right? And let me tell you something. I know that basically certain supermarkets had priority for disabled people. I am somebody who's moderately to severely disabled, right? I couldn't get a fucking slot, right? I think you basically had to have, basically, you had to have, you were going to die of cancer within the next 6 weeks to get a fucking slot from fucking Tesco's. That was the kind of deal, right? But that picture fucking tells it all. That is neoliberal capitalism fucking on disabled people. And if you are a disabled person who votes Tory, fuck you, you cunt. So, saw this on the Disability News Service. This is basically the government of failing disabled people. Jeez, what's new? The government's continuing failure to address the harm caused to disabled people during the pandemic has led to anxiety and hardship and continuing bleak picture of marginalisation. Yeah. According to the user-led research, in a new report, Inclusion London says loss of control, social isolation, and feelings of dependency, and the strain of making ends meet have had a devastating impact on disabled people during the crisis. Yeah. The report calls for urgent action to address problems such as food poverty, financial difficulties, workplace discrimination, and access to medicine, COVID-19 vaccines, and social care. Yeah. The Lockdown and Abandoned report, which documents disabled people's experiences during the pandemic, says that the problems have been compounded by the failure to engage and listen to disabled people and disabled people's organisations. Right, let me tell you something. Back to the welfare reform thing I was mentioning early on. disabled people had tried to engage with the government about the effects of welfare reform, but the Tories weren't fucking listening. I can tell you that. Right? So what's left for us other than to fucking, protest outside fucking Parliament? Yeah? People are dying. This is completely different to the Capitol riots, because the Capitol riots, as I've said, is about, Trump didn't win, and we want to get our own way. This is just about, disabled people, having, being, supported so they don't fucking die. While the government insists it is protecting and supporting those in greatest need, it has instead introduced new laws, guidance and policies which are actively undermined disabled people's ability to protect ourselves and our rights to critical support, says the report. Yeah, now, let me explain something, right? I do have a support worker, but I've not seen her throughout the whole crisis. I don't blame her, fair enough. I think I spoke to her once on the telephone. It's down to trans friends of mine who've lived locally to me, who have supported me, who've taken me to the supermarket. I mean, for instance, right, I haven't been able to go out for the last week because, first of all, it was snowing, and if I slip over on ice, I'm not getting back up. And and of course it's been cold since thereafter. And, well, black ice, I'm scared of slipping over on black ice, which I've done before, when I was a lot, when I was more capable of getting up, shall we say. So, I've had, basically people helping me to get to the supermarket and stuff, but I'm lucky I've got that support, and I do feel fortunate that I've got a roof over my head, I've got heat, I've got food in my belly, I'm relatively okay, but there are many people out there who aren't, who should be getting far greater support. And before fucking Tories go, we can't afford it. Well, we can afford bombs, can't we? We can afford. Well, we can afford many things which are wasteful. Fuck's sake, you hear fucking billionaire Richard Branson, one of the richest men in the world, saying that his fucking airline needs a fucking bailout. When he could easily keep it going with his fortune, and yet disabled people are getting fucked. Disabled people are we are struggling to understand their rights and what they should do, and how to keep themselves safe with fast changing, inaccessible and often confusing guidance, increasing their anxiety and stress. I imagine a lot of disabled people are very stressed and anxious at the moment, and this is you don't hear about this in the mainstream media, do you? Okay, I got that story from the Mirror, but that's a human interest story which the tabloids would pick up on. Okay, you don't hear about it on the BBC, right? This is the kind of stuff which needs to be talked about. The way disabled people are being treated, because it's shameful. Okay. So, it doesn't help that we have too many COVID fucking idiots. So, this actually happened on, I think, Thursday or Friday. I remember I did see it on the BBC website on Friday. Essentially, so hundreds of people were filmed drinking and partying in the snow without socially distancing. So basically, I think this was in Newcastle. Of course, when it snows in Newcastle, that's considered a fucking heat wave, isn't it? Why, hey, man? It's a bit hot out tonight. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, thing is, so if it snows, COVID idiots come out to party. If it's sunny, COVID idiots come out to party. COVID idiots just come out to fucking party. And they don't give a shit about anyone else, do they? No? No. You see, this doesn't help fucking disabled people. I can tell you from where I live, there are plenty of people who can't be bothered to social distance around me. This is why I've really shut myself away and do not go out beyond, my front door very often. Because obviously I need to, think about my health. Anyways, footage has emerged of about 300 revelers defying lockdown to stand, top of Cow Hill in Newcastle. As the evening went on and they continued drinking, the group became more stupid, a bystander told. Alcohol tends to do that sometimes. At points, they could be seen sledding down the snow-covered hill on shopping trolleys and upturned tables. Northumberland police have said they received reports of the gathering, but that the group had dispersed when officers had arrived. Yeah, as soon as the police turn off, of course, they're going to turn up. Sorry, as soon as the police turn up, they're going to disperse. Go somewhere else and gather, and then the police are going to, turn up there, and then they're going to disperse and go. You know how it goes. The force slammed the behaviour as completely unacceptable during the third national lockdown, when thousands of people are dying of COVID every week. Yeah, and as you can see, breaking news: COVID cases are up. COVID cases are up, but in the lowest rise of 4 months. Yeah, but COVID cases are still up. So, right? Sure, I know that the R rate has been coming down, but what the fuck ever. The point is, we still need to social distance until, there's a full rollout of the vaccine and, and people get their second doses of the vaccine and whatever else. So, this is the kind of stuff which is just fucking inconsiderate to vulnerable fucking people. But of course, there are way too many Covidiot Karens. Now, this is what I seen this last year. This is Finally, we meet the end. This is in Arizona. There's two. They've got both videos. I remember seeing this. So, this is one of my favourite Karen moments. Just because, fucking hell. Well, you'll see.
End of the road. I've been looking forward to this shit all my fucking life. So, Target, I'm not playing any more fucking games. This shit's fucking over. This shit's all fucking over. This shit's fucking over. This shit's over, 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 this shit's over. Yay! This shit's over! Woo! Yay! So this shit, get all this shit off of my car. I don't want any of that shit. I don't want any of that shit. Get that shit out of here. Fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. No, I'm not doing it. We don't want any of this anymore. This is over. No. No. Do you? Why? Why? You let everybody else do it. You let everybody else do it. Why I can't do it? Because I'm a blonde white woman? Fucking wearing a fucking $40,000 fucking Rolex? I don't have the fucking right to fuck shit up? Finally, we meet the end of the road.
Oh no, that's the same. Now, she was arrested.
They drained the swamp. They did everything that Donald Trump was elected to do. You can read about it on Twitter. You can read about it in the news. All of the deep state politicians.
Of course, being a QAnon, cultist, she was streaming herself. Well, they always have to stream everything they do on fucking online, don't they? Actually, that gives me a thought. Do QAnon actually have a porn site? Because I mean, well, I mean, they stream everything else, don't they? So might as well stream having sex, make some money from it.
All of that stuff has happened. It's done. Okay. So I was hired to be the QAnon spokesperson.
Coming here today?
I cannot. It's a secret. What do you mean? Like I can't give you any classified information. You don't have clearance. You don't have clearance.
Okay.
You don't.
You're a spokesperson,
yeah,
correct?
For the White House. Yeah.
Well, considering that Donald Trump hired Sidney Powell as his legal counsel, she could be telling the truth.
Okay.
But call Donald Trump and ask him if you don't believe me.
Do you have his phone number?
Do I have his phone number? I'm on the phone with him all the time. I'm fucking wired.
Okay. I think we have enough here. Okay. Can you put down your phone number?
No, I'm not going to put down my phone. Like I said, I'm wired. Okay. All this is being broadcast live.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay, where is it being broadcast?
Everywhere, all over the world.
All over the world?
All over the world on Instagram, yeah. Millions of viewers. Okay. So, say cheese. You're on candid camera.
Okay, thank you.
CBI or 1039?
CBI.
Okay. Melissa, what I'm going to have you spin around and just put your phone down
what?
first, okay?
I need you to put your phone down.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Right. You're doing it to me because I'm Jewish. You're doing it to me because I'm Jewish.
I have no idea.
You're doing it to me because I'm Jewish.
No. Doing it because you're an anti-mask Karen. Not because you're Jewish. Being Jewish has got fuck all to do with it. Now, what I didn't realise was, when I shared this last Friday, this woman talking here, just listen to what she says again.
The algorithm hooked me in. It really only took a matter of weeks until I was in this terrifying echo chamber that really, completely changed the way that I think and the way that I processed information. And what people saw happen in my garage that day, I mean, truly with my husband, who's my absolute...
Happened in her garage that day. Yes. As you see, that's a video from the garage. I didn't realise that was that woman. I didn't realise that last week, but I did find out over the weekend. So she's obviously received some psychiatric help, and it seems that she's recovering from having been a QAnon cultist and an anti-mask Karen. It's good to see. Unfortunately, of course, there are other anti-mask Karens. And why is it the far right seem to target Lush? Remember, was it last week or the week? Yeah, it was last week. Was it last week? Yeah. So I get my dates mixed. Yeah, it was last week. There was that clip, that video clip from I think 2018, 2019 of Britain First giving shit to staff at a branch of Lush in this country. Well, here's an anti-mask Karen giving shit to staff at a branch of Lush in the United States.
One of my own. Oh, she was just offering. We can ring you up right here if you weren't wanting to wear a mask. Here's my mask. We actually cannot accept that. I'm so sorry. We do have to follow the lines.
Okay, you're not following the CDC guidelines.
I'm so sorry. But
well, I'll wait here until you let me in so I can shop.
I'm so sorry, but I cannot bring you in without a mask.
This is my mask. This is the only mask I can wear.
I'm so sorry. It just has the holes in there, and we have to follow those lines.
Now, I don't know if you heard her. She said it has a hole. Now, this is what the anti-mask people have been doing. They do wear a mask, but they like wear a hole over their mouth, don't they? As some form of, protest. Rather than just wearing a mask and being considerate towards others, I mean, for fuck's sake. This is Orwellian, this is authoritarian, this utopia. No, it's not. It's called being considerate to fucking other people.
I truly have no choice in the matter.
Why are you not following the CDC guidelines?
I am following the ones that were given directly to our company.
Would you like me to look up the CDC?
No, I'm so sorry, but it's actually a different of our very strict lines that we have to follow as a company.
Okay, so you're admitting that you are violating the CDC guidelines.
I'm not admitting that at all. I'm admitting that we have a set of CDC guidelines that we are following.
Not the CDC guidelines, some other CDC guidelines.
I don't know what. Okay, do you have any proof of medical exception or anything like that?
I don't need proof. All I have to do is tell you that I have a medical exemption.
I'm so sorry, but in our CDC guidelines, there is nothing listed for that.
I'm aware.
And we are following those strictly.
So now she's saying that she has an exemption to wear a mask with a hole in it. No, I don't think she does. Somehow.
And I definitely don't mean to frustrate you at all. It's just
you're frustrating me.
I very much apologize for frustrating you. I just have to follow those CDC lines. And I promise they are straight from
the governor's.
I'm sure you're very educated.
I'm very educated.
I'm sure you are, yeah, and I don't deny that whatsoever. I'm just saying that there's that certain list that we do follow as a shop, and our company rules are that we can match company was given.
Well, that's not good enough.
I'm so sorry, I don't really know what to do here for you.
You need to let me come in the shop.
I cannot. I personally would get in trouble for that alone.
Okay, who's the manager?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're all mini managers here. We're all floor leaders, so we are all correlating the floor.
So you're not following the CDC guidelines. You're not following the governor's mandate. You're not aware that he's opened us up. We're fully open.
Right. The Lush have any branch of Lush has the right, and the company has the right to say you should wear, whatever mask, to protect, other customers and of course protect the staff. Yeah, this is just fucking inconsideration, being a fucking inconsiderate cunt, basically. All right. Now this is. I said that that QAnon Karen in Arizona was my favourite until I saw this. This woman should be arrested, but not just because she refuses to wear a face mask. I will tell you why. When you see when they get her outside.
Take your hands off of me. You don't have the right, sir. Get your hands off of me. I've done nothing wrong. I am not a criminal. Get your hands off of me. Get your hands off of me. No. Get your hands off of me. Ma'am. That's a violation. Take your hand off of me. Sir.
Don't come behind me.
Oh, I should explain. This isn't a bagel shop in Florida, from what yeah. But they say it's Starbucks, but I saw another. It doesn't look like Starbucks. Does it have a Starbucks sign? I thought it was a bagel shop in Florida. That was what I was told. Well, whatever reports said. But anyways.
You need to read the Constitution. Get your hands off of me.
There's nothing in the Constitution saying that, any business, preventing any business from saying you have to wear a fucking face mask. Yes, there is stuff, obviously there are amendments to the Constitution saying that you can't refuse to serve you if you're black, for obvious fucking reasons, though, let's be honest, some people of the far right, such as Rand Paul, don't like the Civil Rights Act. They seem to think that businesses should be able to be as racist as they want to be in choosing their clientele, and refusing business to people who aren't white. But, no, this is the one they always try and pull. They always say, making me wear a face mask is against my constitutional rights. I'd love someone just to sort of challenge them and say, well, what constitutional right? And I know they're probably going to say, oh, the First Amendment. No, the First Amendment is about freedom of religion, about freedom of speech. It's not about, you know, saying that you know, it's not nothing to do with, you know, wearing you're being told to wear a fucking face mask, being against it, you know, whatever.
You don't have the right to do this. You're taking a picture of this. This is so illegal. You take your hands off of me, sir. I am not a criminal. I've done nothing wrong. I'm asking you to and I'm asking you to get your hand off of me. I'm asking you to take your hand off of me. I'm asking you to take your hand off of me. 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 I don't want your hand off of me. You're violating my personhood. I have my First Amendment rights.
And what about, you know, here's the thing. Oh, but she is using the First Amendment. I did see this a few weeks ago. I know some people say, oh, you haven't been properly prepared. Hey, look, I have to go through a lot of fucking articles. I did see this thing a few weeks ago. So, yeah, she's using the First Amendment, right, which is bullshit. Violating her person. Because she has no fucking sense that she's actually violating other people by possibly spreading fucking COVID-19 over them.
Look at this. You get this? Yes. You get this? I'm asking him to take his hand off of me. He has no right to kidnap me. This is kidnapping. You are. Let go of me. No. Let go of me. I'm asking you to step out. This is because the police department are ignorant of the constitutional rights. Okay. This is why this man has his hand on me. And he's on my personhood. And I have the right to protect my personhood. No, sir. Take your hand off of me. Take your hand off. Don't steal my purse. Now he's stealing my purse.
She out of here?
I have done nothing wrong.
Stand up.
Take a picture of these guys. Get their names. Get their names.
Can I have your badge ID, please?
Yee-hoo!
Can I have your badge ID?
You getting all this? You see this? This is illegal.
I don't see no badge on it, sir.
Now, she shouldn't have been just arrested for not wearing a face mask. She should be arrested for crimes against fucking fashion. Jeez, what is she on? Fucking safari. I mean, I like leopard print as much as the next girl, but fucking hell.
Shame on you. Shame on you. Let go of me. Shame on you. Let go of my purse. Are you filming this, sweetheart?
Yes, I am.
Are you filming this, sweetheart? Stop it! You cannot arrest me! I've done nothing illegal! I have done nothing illegal!
What are you being arrested for?
Stop it! Stop it! Ow! Ow!
No.
Put your arms back. Stop resisting.
Let go! I am not under arrest! Leave me alone!
I'm not under arrest. Looks like you're fucking under arrest. Yeah. So, yeah, this is the kind of shit we have to put, you know, this is not helping, okay? Particularly vulnerable and disabled people. It's just encouraging, you know, people basically just, well, yeah, anti-maskers are just people who are, they're just spreading the fucking pandemic, possibly spreading the pandemic. I mean, obviously, we don't know if all these people who refuse to wear face masks have COVID-19, but you know, the likelihood is there would be a good proportion of them who do. Anyways, before we get off this, there was a mass anti-mask protest in Santa Cruz. Just take a look at this.
Here we go. We're at Trader Joe's. Get ready to go in. Go, 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 go.
Smile, smile.
Okay, first of all, right, they're going into a store which has a, you know, wear a mask policy, right? So, just on that grounds, they should be thrown out. You know, the company has the right to eject them. For that.
Hey, don't touch me! Don't touch me! That's assault. That's.
Oh, but possibly spreading COVID-19. That's not assault, of course.
Assault. You touch me, that's assault. You touch me, that's assault.
Hey, Dave,
What happened?
that's assault. They threw this basket. They threw the basket right there.
Oh, they're now complaining about assault. You know, people trying to protect themselves from getting fucking COVID. I think that's, people trying to protect themselves from COVID, exercising their right to self-fucking-defense.
You know what?
Get a picture of the basket.
You need to get out of the basket. Get out of the building.
Right there.
40 people just came in, and they're thinking. Okay, awesome. Okay.
You guys are troopers.
Yeah, they're 19 cents each. Or the organic. Or 25.
What'd you get there? You got a bag of chips?
Yep, $2.49.
All right.
A lady threw a basket at us, like a customer.
Oh, a customer? Okay.
God bless you.
What'd you get? Okay, you got a bag of chips?
Yep, I got.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year's, everyone.
Yeah, people are telling them to leave. Please don't, spread COVID all over us.
Why are y'all doing this? It's just a grocery store. Take your political points over to City Hall.
Yeah, it's just a grocery store. Yeah, they're really sticking it to the man, aren't they? Not. They're just being dicks.
Awesome. Here, so they're 2 left.
We don't want to have trouble with y'all.
25. Okay. 35. Awesome. Okay, where's our group?
We got
These are $2.99.
$2.99. All right.
This item.
Okay, we got jazz apples for $2.99.
Okay, now we just want to shop. You have what you want?
You are buying stuff, we are not going to serve you, so you know.
Oh dear, I wonder what's going to happen now.
Ready? Yes.
We're wasting our time and everyone else's time.
Yeah, wasting the staff's time when the staff could be, serving, customers who are actually going in there to genuinely shop for groceries. They need, not, just making dicks of themselves for the, because, well, they're dicks.
Get out, guys. We need to go. So just start. You will be helped, so you can leave. Come on. Get out. Yeah. Get out. You will need help. One of your guys, I'm lost. There's no hope already.
Why are these trying to put her out here now?
Why do you want to know?
$2.49 item.
You will not be helped. David, will you record?
Yeah.
Okay. Go right here. I'm buying these apples.
By the way, let's say some of these people do have COVID and staff come down with COVID, then, there might not be enough staff to open this branch of Trader Joe's. And, well, that has a negative impact upon the lives of those people who are actually obeying the COVID restriction rules and wearing a mask. I mean, look, let me tell you something. So, Ara de Meslo, who I've mentioned at the beginning of the stream, who I've interviewed on this channel, she opposes the mask mandates, right? She's a libertarian. But she doesn't do this, right? She just goes to those businesses where there, you know, which have no problem with people not wearing masks. Okay, or I think, or might get deliveries now. I don't know, but you know, this is just being COVID idiots. This is being a dick. You know, and I find it repugnant because you could actually be doing a lot of people a lot of harm.
Here you go. $4 for my apples. There you go. And all the logs. It's only 5. It's only like $4.25. Apples and bananas.
We are not serving you.
Oh, but yes. No, you're not. God bless you. Breaking 10 for loss, but God bless you anyway.
Here's $5 for my
Honeydew, all right.
Overpaid.
Okay, wonderful.
Hold on to your melon.
Hey, don't touch my camera. That's assault.
You know what? Christy, be careful. No. Okay, so take your money back. Take your money back. That's mine. I'm sorry.
You know what? You're breaking the law. You're breaking the law.
You're number one.
That's theft. Hey, we paid already. Go get your money.
We paid already.
That's nice.
No, you didn't.
Nice.
You left
You
your
did
money
not.
on the counter.
I left my money on the counter.
That's not pay.
I left my money on the counter.
That's great.
That's not paying. I have evidence of money on the counter.
That's great. Go get your money.
It's on the counter. It's on the counter.
Go
We
get your money.
refuse to serve you. If you guys want to leave with that, it's theft. There's cops.
Oh, we paid. We already paid.
I really, at the end of the day, I don't know what they're trying to fucking prove. Honestly, yeah. Yes. So it's LGBT History Month, and I tweeted this today. You know, we can we remember this LGBT History Month that there are disabled LGBTQ people, and we have played our parts when it comes to LGBTQ history, which we have, right? And, well, here's the thing, right? And I will do a specific video on this. You know, as I explained at the beginning of the stream, I'm planning on doing videos on specific topics. You know, I might call it something like Bite-Sized Botha. That's the name I'm sort of mulling around in my head at the moment. Here's like anti-Semitism, which I've been subjected to within the trans community, I've also been subjected to ableism. In fact, proportionately a great deal more ableism. Stuff like, why bother transitioning? You'll never pass as a woman because you're disabled. I remember one time I saw on a discussion forum someone post, I wouldn't stand next to a disabled person in public because it would prevent me from passing as a woman. I'm not kidding. That was actually a post I saw. Granted, this was some time ago. But more recently, there's this stuff, sort of very sort of patronising sort of type of ableism, which I thought had died out in the 1980s, which I've been subjected to. And I'll admit, it doesn't always come from a place of malice. It sometimes comes from a place of care. And that's, you know, I don't know what's good for me type attitude. You know, the does she take sugar with her tea type attitude. Now I will get, as I said, I will do a more in-depth video about some of the incidences of ableism I have been subjected to from within the trans community. But really, again, it's a lack of intersectionality with trans people and some other elements of the LGBTQ community. Really, you know, We need to start working on this a great deal more. Right. Anyway. Yes, so Republicans are at it again in comparing members of the LGBTQ community to farm animals. And why is it always in fucking Florida? And I've got another story from a few years ago. But so Arizona Republican lawmakers John Fillmore and Kevin Payne are both facing ethics complaints after making anti-trans comments during a Government and Elections Committee meeting. The discriminatory comments come while the committee was reviewing House Bill 2725, a measure John Fillmore introduced that would bar all governments in Arizona from identifying an individual's gender as anything besides the tired binary of male and female. During the hearing, Fillmore said that the gender dysfunction thing allows men to enter into restrooms of little girls and creates situations that I don't think are beneficial to society and the nuclear family as a whole. Okay, right. So let's say as this guy politician had a baby girl, right? You know, a toddler, right? Or possibly a girl now, a little girl is about 4 or 5, right? And she's having a few problems going to the toilet in their house. Well, and he's the only one around. He's the only parent around. Well, you know, is it a gender dysfunctional thing for him to go into the toilet, into the toilet then and help her out? Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Remember, every household has a gender-neutral toilet. Now, I am sure there are some households which do have gendered toilets for people to use, but generally, households don't have, you know, gendered toilets. They have non-gendered toilets. They have unisex toilets. Just remember that. You know, I mean, you don't hear Tersh say that about the threat of you know, men raping girls in their own household in the unisex toilets, do you? No. He said that once a trans person has achieved that status, oh right, so we have to live up to some fucking standard yet again of having gender affirming surgery, then they could have their government documents. What about those of us who can't have surgery? But then Fillmore went completely off left field and compared people who identify as trans, non-binary, or gender non-conforming to barnyard animals. This is a very old homophobic trope. And as I said, it's nothing new when it comes to the state of Arizona. This is from 2010, and I remember this. Former Republican J.D. Hayworth said Sunday that the expansion of state laws allowing gay marriage could lead to people marrying their horses. Right. Yeah. I think you'll find that gay men want to love other gay men. Okay? They don't want to love their any you know, they're not, you know, sexually attracted to any fucking farmyard animal. You know, this is the I have heard this before from homophobes that, you know, well, you know, if gays and lesbians are allowed to love one another, then next they'll be wanting to love, you know, have sex with sheep or donkeys. It's a really old one, okay, and It's not just exclusively Arizona where you hear this shit. Oh no. This is from 2006. A Christian lobby group has been criticised after one of its members was reported to have equated gay marriage with people wanting to marry their horse. This is in Britain, right? That's not the same story. This is in Britain. Okay? Granted, yes, this was 15 years ago, but, you know, what I'm saying is the whole trope of comparing gay people, members of the LGBTQ community to farm-yard animals and suggest that we're all into fucking bestiality is nothing fucking new. The remarks were printed in an Observer interview with Don Horrocks, head of the public affairs of the Evangelical Alliance. Yeah, exactly. Yet another bunch of Christian fucking bigots. Now, but it's not just farmyard animals homophobes have got a thing about. I remember this from a few years ago. Homophobe sues for the right to marry his laptop because he wants the same rights as gays. Fucking hell. Yeah, I remember this. Right, it was like, you know, I got you. You know, if men can marry men and women can marry women, then I should have the right to marry a fucking laptop. A laptop's not a fucking person. It's an inanimate fucking object. You stupid douche. Yeah, I mean, it describes him here as a legal troll. Legal troll Krista Sophia, a serial author of nuisance lawsuits, filed a new claim this week against the government of Alabama. Yeah, I remember this. Of course, he got no fucking way with it, but I mean, fucking hell. You know, this is the kind of shit we have to put up with. And I mean, Actually, I'll tell you what. There's another thing which I'm reminded of, which involved my friend Jane Fay. I'll see if I can quickly find it. But before I do, Matt Lewis, what did he say? Who said? Sorry, who's that a reference to? Right, hang on, folks. I just want to find this because this is sort of similar. To that guy trying to marry his laptop. And it involved a friend of mine. See if I can find it. Here we are. Yeah, just hang on one second. Let me get this up. I mean, this... And I have to say, I feel that Jane Fay was actually ambushed in this instant. Somewhat.
Let's talk now to the Dutchman, who's trying to legally change his age from 69 to 49, with the aim of, well, you can tell us what the aim is in a moment, actually. Emil Rattleband, a motivational speaker, attempting to move his birthday from the 11th of March 1949 to the 11th of March 1969. You can change your name, you can change your gender. Why not your age, he says. Nowhere are you so discriminated against as with your age. That's what he said to a Dutch newspaper. He's here, as you can see, alongside writer Jane Fay, who doesn't agree that self-identifying your gender is the same as self-identifying your age. Good morning, both of you. First of all, is this simply a publicity stunt, or are you serious?
No, of course not. Yes, I'm really serious. I'm like, you know, I'm a guy that always goes to the front and is an example. For example, 35 years ago, I went to my dentist to get my amalgam fillings out of my mouth, and I had to visit 5 dentists.
He said he got his fillings out. I guess he probably thought that there was, you know, that they were relaying messages from some satellite to brainwash him or something.
Dentists before they did.
Okay, let's talk about now. Okay. What's the problem for you with being 69?
There's a problem. Okay.
By the way, the fillings thing with the satellite, I did get that gag from The Simpsons. the one where Bart's put on Ritalin?
My doctor says I'm a biological age is 40, 42. And so he has that put it on paper. I said, okay, why I'm not that age? So I want to be that age, 49. I said, okay, I want it for 49.
Well, what is it that you can't do at 69 that you think you'd be able to do at 49?
For example, we have a high unemployment in Holland, and all those people who are unemployed are above 55. So when you're 55, you're not able to get a job. For example, when I want
But you're not unemployed.
No, of course not. But if I
So that's not a reason.
If I want to buy a house, I don't get a mortgage anymore. But in my job, you know,
Have you got a mortgage now, though?
I have a mortgage, but if I want to change my house, I want to have a new mortgage, it's impossible because I'm too old. So, but in my job, what I'm doing, most people ask me always, yeah, but you're almost 70, how can you do that? Do you speak the language from people who are 35? Do you really understand the problems nowadays? Because you're an old man. I said, no, I'm not old man, I'm a wise man. But I always have to defend myself. And sometimes I have to lie about my age, and I don't want that. So I want a legalization.
Why do you have to lie about your age?
No, because people say, I don't believe, or they say, if you go to some people, they say, okay, you tell that you are younger because you look more younger than you are, and so then you have to lie to that. So I don't want to do that. I want to have legalization. It's my feeling, and so
you won't get an extra 20 years of life.
I am sure he was put up to this by fucking TERFs. That it's a feeling, because the thing is, TERFs always say, oh, you know, trans people just seem to think that they're women because they've got a feeling, you know, they think they're women because they have a feeling that they're women, you know, and that you can't be a woman, you know, because of biology. No, you know, we need to go through this again? You know, gender is, you know, a social construct. Okay?
Well, no, that's not true, because there was an examination about in 2010 over here in England, and they put old people in a new environment with young people, and they saw that their age was they became younger, healthy.
You've got 7 children with twins on the way.
Yeah,
so you're surrounded by young people.
Yeah, but I'm surrounded. But I want to have legalization. So that's my feeling, and I want to respect that you respect my feeling.
Sure.
And if you respect my feeling, I want to go to court and I say, okay, I want the legalization.
You have compared this to trans people who legally change their gender.
Yeah.
Why?
I did what?
You have compared this to trans people who legally change their gender.
Because nowadays it's like we have the free will. In the past it was always like this. We have to do what the state or the church or our parents told us. Now we can go traveling wherever we want, and we can change our names if we want, and we can change also our gender if we want. So why I cannot change my age then?
Jane Fay, does he have a point?
Well, I'm actually quite flabbergasted. I started out on this thinking I was going to be sympathetic. I'm less sympathetic when I hear about it, because
Yeah, this is the kind of shit, you know, us trans women have to fucking put up with. Okay? All we want to do is get on with our lives in peace. I know some people say, well, this guy probably does genuinely think, you know, he was younger than he actually is, and, you know, and or older than he is, and, you know, just as you know, think that you're a woman. No! It's got fuck all to do with it. Right? I think it's disgusting that the BBC, right, would essentially give this guy a platform. However, it doesn't fucking surprise me. Maybe the next time I'm streaming, I will get the end. Basically, last year, I saw on one of the morning magazine programs, right, there was a conversation with a flat earther. And they were taking him seriously. You know, 20, 30 years ago, you know, you would have, I don't know, things like, you remember Eurotrash and you know, there would be some Fortean Times type, you know, program late on at night on Channel 4. Yeah, that would, you know, and they probably would feature, you know, stuff about flat earthers and basically take the piss out of them. Now, they're getting a fucking platform in the mainstream fucking media. It's disgusting. Anyways, talking of Gina Carano and her comparison to, you know, saying that if you're a conservative, you're being treated, being a conservative is like being a Jew in Nazi Germany. I did mention that this isn't the first time I've heard this comparison from, you know, some form of bigot. Well, I can't find the article I wrote for Gay Star News. I know they've had problems with their website and advertising and whatever else. But I do remember this, and I did write about it. This is when George Kerry basically suggested that, he made the comparison of those who oppose gay marriage were being treated like Jews in Nazi Germany. No, you were being opposed because you were trying to restrict, LGBTQ people from having equality. That's why. Okay? It's ridiculous. It's fucking, nobody, no one's asking you to marry any LGBTQ person if you don't want to fucking marry them, okay? I wouldn't want to force, any priest or religious minister or rabbi or imam or whatever to marry, a same-sex couple if they didn't want to do it. Okay? It wasn't about making, it wasn't about, making people do stuff they didn't want to do. It was basically helping people do stuff which they couldn't have done. Okay? That was what it was about. It just makes me really, really angry that people who want to restrict the rights of others and want to be bigots to others, say, oh, we're being treated like Jews in Nazi Germany. It really does. Not just as a Jewish person, but as somebody who basically believes in human rights and decency. Let me just check your chat. Oh, right, Martin Lewis. The anti-maskers are spoilt yet deprived generation. Nobody taught them you can't define society without rules. They think society is just about their own comfort and freedom. It's not. It's a trade. Yeah, it's the social contract. That's what it's about. The social contract is breaking down. That's what it is. Yeah, the Dutch origin. The thing is, right, Holland, to give, this guy is obviously, I haven't met many Dutch people, weirdly, considering I'm South African. When I say meet Dutch people, I've been to Holland. What I mean is, I'm not like, I can't remember having any friends from Holland, if you know what I mean. I've met Dutch people, but Holland and the Netherlands used to lead the way when it came to the treatment of trans people. I remember back in the 80s and 90s, we always looked to Holland. Their very progressive attitudes there were towards helping trans people. In fact, I think it was in Holland they first recognised gender fluid people. And talking of which, I have got some news. As I said, I'm doing a pre-recorded interview tomorrow. Hopefully, it will be up either late tomorrow evening or Wednesday morning with someone who is gender fluid. Got some interesting stuff to talk to them about. As I said, both Doctor Who fans. So, look forward to that. Otherwise, I will be back on Wednesday at 6, going through all the latest LGBTQ news and political stories and stuff. In the meantime, if you like this video, please give it a like. If you've got any feedback, please do comment down below. Please share this video with your friends. And most importantly of all, please subscribe. It's really, really important that people, subscribe and encourage their friends to subscribe. This channel is growing and it's really good to see. Also, do remember you can help me on Patreon. that would help me be able to do stuff with this channel. But in the meantime, until Wednesday, look after yourselves, stay safe, and peace out.